Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to 8-Bit Chazzy, the segment on this channel where I review the many games that I play both on and off of YouTube, whether they're old or new, good or bad. I talk about games, the whole 9 yards of gaming here in 8-Bit Chazzy. A very rare thing to do that I hope that I can start doing more of in the future because I really love talking about games, And today I'm going to be reviewing something that I actually have tried to do before, but back when my channel sucked, back when I already did this review once many years ago, but it was so crappy. I recorded it in my bedroom with the very, very bad lighting. Didn't even have any clips or stuff, barely have an intro to begin with. So today I'm going to be remaking that video in a whole new light, because I recently finished playing FIFA 22 on my channel. Here is a playlist in case you guys want to check out the gameplays later, 8 main gameplays and also 3 compilations, I believe. So, after finishing that, I thought what better way to really wrap up this series than reviewing the entire EA Sports FIFA franchise from the beginning, talking a little bit about it, giving you guys tidbits of info and also my personal opinions on it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I am going to be today reviewing officially with the title card here, the FIFA series. Not really sure what showed up here, if I'm gonna say FIFA, EA Sports FIFA franchise. Well, whatever showed up is what you guys are gonna get, okay? So now FIFA is actually considered to be, well, not considered, right? It is like literally the biggest sports franchise in the world because it has actually listed in the Guinness World Records as the best-selling sports video game franchise in the world. And to give you an estimate, as of 2021, the FIFA series has sold over 111 million copies worldwide. So yeah, it's kind of popular, just a little bit, It has been made available in 18 different languages, and throughout all of that, to reach a broader audience, it is available in 51 different countries. So it's very popular, and because soccer, or as the Europeans call it, football, is a very popular sport, every country has their own iteration of soccer, Some countries have it better than others, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. I want to talk about the actual game series and how it has such a large reaching appeal, And the thing with FIFA is that it has been made available for every console that you can imagine, whether it's regular consoles or handhelds, from way back in the day. Now, the thing with FIFA is that it has always evolved over the years, and every time you play FIFA on a certain console in a certain generation, you are always going to think that that is the better version of it. But as the years go by, it just gets better and better and better. Even though EA Sports is not exactly a very faithful and honest, gaming company, they have been riddled with a lot of how can I say, just a lot of controversies over the years, especially for their microtransactions, so it seems like they don't really care too much about their core audience. But there was a time when FIFA was just an incredible work of art, Matter of fact, FIFA 12 to this day still holds the record for the fastest selling sports game ever, with over 3.2 million copies sold and over $186 million generated, in just its first week of release, So over 3 million copies and $186 million of revenue in just 1 week, So that's freaking crazy, man. I don't think any other sports game is even gonna, come close to that. So like I said before, available for multiple systems and also having licensing, for many different leagues, many teams. As a matter of fact, today I'm wearing my Fluminense jersey from the 2009 season. This is the away jersey, I don't think I've ever worn this jersey for YouTube videos. I think this is the first time. So yeah, I'm gonna debut that. And FIFA has had a lot of Brazilian teams as well, but now the licensing belongs to Konami. But as the years go by, they get more and more licensing for more and more leagues and teams, and player likenesses just looks amazing. I'm gonna be getting to all of that as the review goes on. But before that, let's take a look at a clip here from a FIFA game, but a very old one. I'm going to show you guys a clip from an old game, a slightly newer one, slightly newer, more and more. Just keep going. So let's take a look at how FIFA was way back in the day. You can feel the cringe, huh? You can feel the cringe seeping through that. But believe me, at that time, man, it was considered a world-class game, alright? Now, officially, the FIFA series began its run in 1993 with the release of FIFA International Soccer, you know, which was actually the first game to have the FIFA license, you know, and it was released on the Sega Mega Drive. And as the years went on, the games kind of had a very similar style. But me personally, the first FIFA game I ever played was the FIFA World Cup 98 for the Super Nintendo, you know, and it was fun. You know, I was still living in Brazil, so me and my dad played it a bit, you know, but I actually kind of like, because I grew up in the US, I kind of fell away from it, you know, and started playing it only years later when I came back here. But anyway, so now the thing with FIFA is that as the years went on, the game started to become more and more sophisticated. And you know, it's kind of funny because looking back on it now, if you are a gamer today playing the modern FIFAs and you try to maybe go on YouTube and see footage from FIFA back in like the PS1 or PS2 days, you know, compared to what it looks like today on the PS5, it's going to be very crappy, you know. But now the game modes are the things that I think have evolved the most, you know, because when you look back and see how crappy the games were, you still notice that it used to be much more simplistic, you know. Back in the day, it's just go to kickoff and play, you know, get the teams, the players, and score goals and stuff. And as time went on, it started to become much more overcrowded with things, you know. And as the years have gone on, they have also given different iterations of tournaments, you know. So they have started to include additional installments, you know, based on the World Cup, the UEFA Champions League, the Europa League, you know, the European Football Championship, you name it. So a few examples, you know. Aside from the World Cup 98, there was also a standalone game for the 2002 FIFA World Cup, you know, released the same year. There was also the 06 World Cup, you know, there was the 2010, 14, you know, and then from then they stopped doing it, instead just updating games. Like in FIFA 18, there was an update for the World Cup. In FIFA 22, and I believe also in 23, there will be an update for the World Cup as well, you know, so they just do that to patch it in. But the thing is that they have also branched out into different territories, like the FIFA Street series, which came back recently in the form of Volta Football in the current FIFAs. But it was a very interesting way because it came out in 2005, the first one, you know, so it shows that EA was really good at sort of, you know, changing things up a little bit and giving you different game modes. If you're a fan of things like Be a Pro Career or Ultimate Team or that kind of stuff, pro clubs, then you're gonna feel right at home. I was never a fan of these. Ultimate Team is a way for you to buy different packs, sometimes with real life money and currency, and get different players and build your team, make a little dynasty. Being a pro or a manager is for you to pick one player, create an avatar, and basically play an entire career until you get bored. Same thing with being a manager, you know. So it's very customizable to that degree, but it is also a little annoying. And then there's also, like I said before, there's pro clubs where you can make a club and go online and play against other people, you know. But like I said, EA has been notorious in recent years for making this a very crappy experience, you know. But the game modes aside, you know, they are including different tournaments over the years. Like the current FIFA has a lot of different tournaments that you can play, you know, whether it's national, domestic, you know, cups and actual leagues, you know. So it's really cool, man. You know, the aesthetic is not lost on me at all. I'm gonna talk about the aesthetic later in the next segment, you know, but basically as the years have gone on, as the games have evolved, you know, it seems like EA for a time really did know what they were doing. But still, I mean, I don't know, as the years have gone on, there have been, because basically FIFA releases every year ahead of itself. So like, for example, in 2010 we had FIFA 11, in 2015 we had FIFA 16, you know, and in 2020 there was 21. So they always release a game that corresponds to the following year, the previous year, you know, which never made sense for me. You could just release one the year that it's supposed to. That just makes a lot more sense, because at least, you know, but even back in the day, you know, it just, I don't know. But anyway, so it goes all the way back to 1994 when they released FIFA Soccer 95. It's always one number ahead the year, but still. So that gets a little bit into the nitty-gritty of it, you know, how the game modes are and what you can do, this and that, and the evolution. I'm going to share a little bit of the aesthetic now with you guys, and how sometimes EA does crap out on this. We're gonna get to the good, the bad, and the ugly in the next part. But before that, let's take a look at a clip here from another FIFA. Now a little bit, you know, a few or many years after the first clip that I showed.
Rooney has to cross it here. Oh, it's a goal! Not much noise from the away end just at the moment.
Great finish, it really is.
Alrighty, so it's getting a little less cringy, right? It's getting a little less cringy. The graphics are looking better, you know, that kind of thing. Now, the FIFA games have evolved a lot over the years, and the aforementioned game modes that I talked about in all of the tournaments, you know, like Ultimate Team, Pro Clubs, and the Pro, you know, all of those have evolved, you know, to include many more attributes, you know, so more resources as well. So different tournament formats, different styles of gameplay, you know. They have also expanded much more to give you basically a lot more features within them, you know. However, one of the things that has evolved a lot over the years is, of course, obviously, this being a video game franchise, are the graphics, you know, and also the playability itself. Unsurprisingly, FIFA does get much better over the years, and this is kind of where my opinion kind of takes a more negative, like, not negative, but an unpopular turn, because to me the graphics in FIFA look amazing today, you know, as all sports games do, as games get better and better. But there are people who are always going to complain about something, you know, because I am not a big fan of different modes in FIFA, you know. I always go to kickoff, because when I boot up my current FIFA, which is 22, I'm gonna be getting 23 soon, you know, I always go straight into kickoff and choose a team to play with against another team, you know, so I can play with a specific player and do specific things. So to me, FIFA has always looked good because of this. Like, I understand that there is a lot of controversy and criticism directed towards the microtransactions, you know, and how the other game modes suck and this and that, but I don't play the other game modes, man. How am I going to complain about something that I never play with, I never play in, you know? So basically, with me, it always gets better and better because I'm always focused on kickoff, you know? I always have one specific thing to go to, and that specific thing has always been good to me. Now, the graphics have always gotten better, and I actually think that it's kind of funny because when you directly compare, for example, I don't know, FIFA 22 back to FIFA 12, you know, it's going to look a lot better by comparison based on the graphics alone, and also essentially how the playability works, man. The player models look more realistic, you know. There's much more, like the rain, you actually see the players getting wet with the rain and sweating. You see the grass kicking up as they run and interact with the ball, you know. And way back in the day, it was very, very cringy, you know, but still, it's what we had at the time, you know. And a lot of people consider FIFA 14 or even 15 to be the best FIFA of all time, not because of being the best selling, you know, but because they just see, it's where EA really truly knew what they were doing, you know. They gave you an authentic game with very little microtransactions, you know. Everything came out really well and fair, everything was balanced. There were teams from all over the world, even Brazil, you know, South America, and EA always had the better licensing, you know, and their competitor PES over in Konami, which is now eFootball, kind of had a few, which sucks so bad today. I don't even know why PES is still a thing, but anyway, so now getting different players, you know, and different teams licensing, adding more kits and stuff and more game modes, you know. FIFA 12, you know, I think there was a period between FIFA 12 and like 14 or 15 where each team, or the vast majority of each team, had 3 different uniforms, you know, even 4 sometimes, I think. Maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly, but there was home, away, alternate. Then today it's not like, not all of them have it, you know. And one thing that I really like a lot is how they always implement different cover athletes across different regions, you know. So I have a few examples for you guys here. We have now, so for example, there was, okay, hold on. Okay, Lionel Messi appeared in 4 different covers, you know, from FIFA 13 to 16, you know. But Wayne Rooney, who played for Manchester United, you know, also appeared in 7 different covers, every game from 06 to 12. Ronaldinho appeared alongside Rooney on 4 of these, you know, and also FIFA Football 2004 and Street and this and that. So now, there are different players, like for example, Kevin De Bruyne, Marco Reus, Eden Hazard, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Pablo, you know, Paulo Dybala, Mbappe. They have all been cover athletes at one point or another. Right now, the cover athletes, you know, the face of the franchise is Kylian Mbappe from PSG, and also Sam Kerr, you know, who plays for the Chelsea women's team. But I like how certain regions give you different players depending on where you're buying the game, you know. So here in South America, maybe you'll have Ronaldinho on the cover, and maybe in Spain it'll be Messi, you know. In another place, it might be Wayne Rooney, you know. So, for example, FIFA 12 here in Brazil, I believe the cover was Wayne Rooney and Kaká, you know. But maybe in the US, it was two different players. So, you know, it's nice how they always change up, you know. The graphics have always looked amazing, you know. Not always, but they have always evolved amazingly, you know. The way that it works now, man, you know, it look like everything looks so hyper realistic. The small details, like how the players, you know, control the ball and pass to each other, and how they will react, you know, when they're on the field. It's just crazy. Before I continue, because I have a lot to talk about, let's look at another clip here from FIFA, now one that is considerably more recent than the previous one.
It's a great goal, straight from the free kick.
A goal from Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, he's not putting the keeper there. I think he's giving him the eyes and side-footed it to the left-hand side of the goal.
And here's the goal again.
Now, there were quite a few turning points, you know, within the FIFA series, like, for example, FIFA 97 featuring polygonal models for the players, you know, so showing them 3D, different cameras, you know. FIFA World Cup 98 gave a very nice, you know, World Cup experience with qualifying rounds and knockout and stuff, you know. But the thing is that in my lifetime, I actually went back to playing FIFA back in 2011 or 12, you know. I believe it was 2011 because I bought FIFA 12, you know, for the Xbox 360, but I'm pretty sure I think it was either in 2011 or 2012, you know. But that's when I got back into it, you know, because up until then I had just played PES on the PS2, so I kind of forgot about it. But still, there was a major turning point, you know, in FIFA 16, you know, because that is actually, there was a petition, you know, online for people for FIFA to include, you know, women's teams, you know, in the games, and there was a petition that gained 20,000 signatures in 24 hours, and that's when EA caved in. And in FIFA 16, they finally included female national teams, you know, and now in FIFA 23 they will finally start including actual women's club teams, you know, so that's gonna be awesome too. Just a few at first, you know, but it's gonna grow. It's definitely gonna grow over the years, you know, and we might have official license, you know, female leagues. That's gonna be awesome. But was something that I saw that was awesome was in FIFA 17 when the game itself received an overhaul because they started to use the Frostbite engine, which was the same engine that they use in the Battlefield games, so everything seemed more realistic now. The physics, you know, the way the players would handle ball control, you know, and how they would interact with each other when they bump up against one another, you know, so it would be a lot of different animations. They would behave much more dynamically. There were many more different kinds of movements, you know. And then they also introduced the Journey, which was a 3-part series, you know, in FIFA 17, 18, and 19, where you follow the story of Alex Hunter. It's kind of like a glorified career mode where you're following just one player as he works to become a very great soccer player, playing for different teams in different countries, you know, and I loved it so much. I played it. To me, it was the best in FIFA 18. That's when the story really hit fever pitch levels, you know. That garnered a lot of attention to FIFA. FIFA 18 was praised for being a very polished game, you know, one of the best ones up at the time, and a very authentic experience, because you guys have to understand that FIFA is a simulator game, you know, so it tries very hard to simulate an actual real soccer match in real life, you know, and that's why I like it so much, because it is very realistic, you know. If you get too focused on the crappy single player or online game modes that EA doesn't really care too much about, they don't really put too much work into them anymore, if you just focus on that, you're gonna have a bad time with FIFA, man. If you go to kickoff and play a game and notice how well it works, it's gonna be great for you. Yes, FIFA does have a few bugs, you know. There have been many notorious bugs and glitches over the years that have been downright bizarre, but it's been getting a lot better, you know. I have seen very few, if any, bugs in FIFA 22, you know, and that's outside of YouTube, you know, outside of my game, the gameplays that I've done. So it just feels good to get into a game, you know, and play with your favorite stars. I was so excited when I got FIFA 22 and I could play with Cristiano Ronaldo and Manchester United, you know, Messi with PSG. It just gets better and better every year, man. Okay, I have Xbox Game Pass, so I never really really get the current FIFA. Usually when I get a FIFA game, it's when the next one is already on the horizon, but I still enjoy playing it, you know, because I am a fan of this sport. I really like it. And FIFA is a very popular game series. And I actually said something earlier that I'm going to correct now, which I already did correct in post, but I said that the FIFA franchise had sold 111 million copies, but for some reason the source that I got it from was incorrect, because FIFA, the series, has actually sold 325 copies, you know, throughout their entire history. So I said that earlier, but I'm going to correct it. And the way that the game evolves to me is amazing. If you play Ultimate Team, you can get icons, you know, which are older players. You know, you can get Pele, maybe Garrincha, Andre Di Stefano, Ronaldo. You can get Johan Cruyff, you know, Zidane, a bunch of older players, which you also have in FIFA in the form of Soccer Aid. You have a few really cool players there, which I think that FIFA could really do well if they did like an NBA 2K thing where they actually give you old teams to play, you know, to be available. I think that would be really awesome if they did it with other teams, you know, like from the Premier League or Bundesliga, Brazilian teams. That would really be cool. So I don't really know what else I can say, you know. Big fan of scoring goals, you know. The way that FIFA evolves, you know. I love watching those compilation videos, you know, on YouTube where it shows you, you know, like old FIFAs, you know, like free kick evolution from the old FIFAs to now, the penalty kicks, you know, long shot goals, certain players, you know. There's a very good channel called Video Games Evolution that you guys can watch later. You know, I love his videos, you know. He does compilations of sports games like FIFA, for example, showing all the old to the new, so I like that a lot. Before I continue and possibly wrap it up with a few more tidbits of info, I'm going to show you guys another clip here from a FIFA game, now much more recent. Now, like I said before, even if you're not a fan of the many game modes, you know, in FIFA, if you say that the game itself sucks and it's not realistic and easy to play, you really don't know video games, man, you know, because FIFA 23 is a groundbreaking, revolutionary piece of technology because it includes a few features like, for example, Hypermotion 2, which is a system of match capture, you know. It's kind of like, it's a machine that learns from real life because it actually captures, you know, real life soccer matches to give the game over 6,000 in-game animations, you know. So a lot of things can happen with one player grabbing a ball and trying to do a specific thing, man. So many different things can happen in like a fraction of a second, you know. The dribbles look amazing now, you know. You can do a lot of different skills and tricks, and there is this thing called technical dribbling now, which uses an active touch system, you know, which improves the player's path to the ball and also his turning, and he can dribble with more responsiveness, you know. So it feels really good, especially on current gen, you know, the Xbox Series X or S or PS5, you know. Everything looks amazing, man, you know. And if you really know how to play the game, it's going to look crazy. And, you know, I actually really like how the animations work out, you know, because everything seems to be becoming much more cinematic now, you know, because if you watch the cinematic cutscenes before the game starts, you can see, like, for example, the players coming to the stadium, you know, you can see the supporters entering the stadium, you know, like in the stands taking selfies, talking with each other, you know. If you don't skip any of the cinematics, you can see the players interacting with each other, how they talk to the refs, you know. It cuts back and shows it shows the supporters putting up banners and stuff, you know. It's crazy, man, you know. The rain animation, you know, it shows the raindrops on the camera, it shows the players getting wet, their shirts sticking to their bodies, you know, their jerseys. Everything looks good. You can see their uniforms getting dirty as they roll around and slide around the grass, you know. You can make the grass be natural or artificial, make it a different color, you know, different degrees of wear. And also the nets, you can make it loose or tight, you know, change the shape, the tension, you know. There is so much that you can do in FIFA that it's bonkers, man, you know. And the very fact that people can still play PES today is just pathetic as hell. FIFA 23 right now gives you a total of over 30 licensed leagues, so you can play more than 30 leagues from around the world, different clubs, you know, within which there are 100 licensed stadiums, or actually more than that. So over 100 stadiums that are actual, true, authentic, real recreations of the ones in real life, you know. And there are also more than 700 clubs that you can play as, you know, which I believe also includes international teams, or maybe not, maybe it's just regular domestic clubs, you know, even more so now because FIFA 23 introduced women's clubs, and there are more than 19,000 players in the game, you know, all of them with their licenses and likenesses, you know, so they look the same. There are a few teams that aren't included because for some reason they still have a licensing with Konami, you know. I really don't know why, it's just stupid, you know, but I really enjoy FIFA. Every year it gets better, man, you know. There are some that barely change, I do admit, you know, more recently because of the current gen stuff, you know. Like, you have to go back a few FIFAs to see a notable difference, you know. Like from FIFA 20 to 2022, I admit there weren't a lot of changes besides the kits, you know, but still, man, it's just awesome, you know. And I really do love FIFA, and I really hope I was able to give you guys a good review, because this is the first time that I'm doing a full review, you know. It's much better than the first time, but I'm a little nervous because I don't know, I've never talked about a bunch of games like this, you know, but maybe it's going to be nice. Okay, hopefully it came out well, and I guess that's it, man. This one got a little bit long, you know, and I include a lot of clips, so I don't think I'm going to show one at the very end, you know, because it's a series review. So I think I'm just going to wrap it up here and go straight to the outro screen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, it was a lot of work to make. I had a cheat sheet here, talk about my own personal opinions as well, but it was fun, you know, fun to play the game and eventually review it, and hopefully it's going to be well received by you guys. Let me know in the comments below what your opinions are, if you like FIFA, if you somehow prefer PES, you know, I don't even know how that's possible anymore, what your favorite FIFA game was, your favorite clubs, players. Let me know, let's have a little debate, you know. And if you happen to like this series review, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too so I can know exactly what time I upload. And that's it, guys. I'm going to go because this is getting almost to half an hour now. Whew. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen and get the latest FIFA on Xbox Game Pass on EA Play. Roll the outro screen. I think I already said that, right? Yeah.